You're lying awake right now because you know exactly how much your silence is costing you. It's that hollow vibration in your chest when you look at your bank balance, not because the number is small, but because it represents every hour you traded for a life you don't even like. You tell yourself you're building, but you're really just decorating a cage. You've become an expert at pretending that being comfortable is the same thing as being safe. It isn't. In this video, you will learn that the rules of money you've been following were written by people who need you to stay exactly where you are. I see you in the mornings. That moment the alarm hits and your first thought isn't about the day. It's about the debt, not just the financial kind, but the debt of potential. You get up, you move through the ritual, you check the notifications, you spend your most valuable hours, the ones where your mind is sharpest, selling your focus to someone else's dream for a price that barely covers the cost of your stress. Then the evening comes. You're exhausted, so you scroll. You watch people living the life you think is meant for you. And instead of getting angry, you get inspired. You save a video. You buy a book you'll never finish. You tell yourself that tomorrow, once you're less tired, once the weekend hits, once the timing is right, you'll start. But the timing is never right. The timing is a ghost you're chasing so you don't have to admit. You're afraid to move. You've made peace with being busy. Busy is easy. Busy is a great excuse for not being productive. You fill your calendar with noise, so you don't have to hear the silence that tells you you're drifting. You're waiting for a permission slip that's never coming. You think money is something that happens to you if you work hard enough. But hard work is the baseline. It's the minimum. There are people working 3 times harder than you who will die broke because they followed the rules of people who don't want them to win. The truth is, you're addicted to the struggle. It gives you a story to tell. It makes your mediocrity feel noble. Let's be honest about the enemy. It's not the economy. It's not your boss. It's not your upbringing. The enemy is the silent deal you made with yourself 3 years ago to settle for enough. You tell yourself you're being realistic. Realistic is just a fancy word for the death of ambition. Every time you say, I can't afford that, or that's for other people, you are teaching your brain to be a servant. You've turned your mind into a filter that only lets in small possibilities. You think saving money is the path to freedom. It's not. You can't save your way out of a mindset that is terrified of risk. Money is a tool, a cold, indifferent energy that flows toward those who understand its laws and away from those who worship it out of fear. You don't respect money. You're just afraid of being without it. And because you're afraid, you hold on to it so tightly that you can't use it to build anything. You're hoarding seeds in a barn while the field outside stays empty, wondering why there's no harvest. You're waiting for a lucky break, but luck is just the residue of someone who stopped negotiating with their own excuses. Every day you delay, the price of your entry goes up. Inflation isn't just about the price of bread. It's about the cost of your time. Your energy at 30 is not your energy at 50. Your ability to pivot, to fail, to bleed, and to get back up, that is a finite resource. And you're burning it on things that don't matter. You're spending your life force to buy things to impress people you don't even like. just to feel a fleeting sense of belonging. You're terrified of what people will say if you fail. But have you thought about what will happen if you stay exactly as you are? Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Same room, same job, same lingering feeling that you were meant for something heavier, something more significant. That version of you is looking back at you right now, begging you to feel the weight of this moment. The gray hairs are coming. The market is changing. The world is getting faster. And you are standing still, polishing your excuses until they shine. The laws of money aren't about math. They're about psychology. They're about the fact that money follows value. And you haven't valued yourself enough to demand a seat at the table. You've stayed in the lobby, hoping someone will notice your hard work and invite you in. They won't. You have to walk through the door and take the seat. Stop looking for a mentor. Stop looking for a sign. Stop looking for a how-to guide that removes the risk. The risk is the point. The uncertainty is where the profit lives. If it were guaranteed, everyone would do it, and it would be worth nothing. You've spent your whole life being a good student, a good employee, a good follower. And where has it gotten you? You have a good life that feels like a slow-motion funeral. The pain of discipline is nothing compared to the pain of looking at your children and realizing you couldn't give them the world because you were too busy being sensible. The pain of growth is nothing compared to the agony of regret. You think you have time. You don't. You think you're young. You're not. You're exactly the age where your decisions start to set like concrete. If you don't break the mold now, you will be trapped in it forever. Money doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care about how nice you are or how much you deserve it. It only cares about whether you have the stomach to play the game by the actual rules. Not the ones they taught you in school. The rules of leverage, the rules of ownership, the rules of staying calm when everyone else is screaming. You've been playing small because you're afraid of the responsibility of being big. If you have money, you have no excuses. If you have money, you have to admit that your failures are your own. It's easier to stay broke and brave to work. It's comfortable to be a victim, but you're tired of being comfortable, aren't you? That's why you're still listening. That's why that knot in your stomach is getting tighter. That's your soul trying to wake you up before the sleep becomes permanent. You don't need more information. You have enough information to build an empire. What you lack is the cold, hard resolve to be the person who owns things rather than the person who is owned by them. The world is divided into those who pay interest and those who collect it, not just in banks, but in life. Every second you spend not pursuing your own sovereignty, you are paying interest on your existence. You are a tenant in a life you should be owning. Look at your hands. Look at your reflection. This is the only tool you get. This is the only shot you get. The silence is coming back soon. And when it does, you'll be alone with the same thoughts you had yesterday. Or you can decide that today is the day the old you finally died of exhaustion. Wealth isn't a destination. It's an identity. It's a refusal to be a bystander in your own story. It's the moment you realize that rich isn't a dollar amount, it's the absence of anyone else's hand on your steering wheel. Stop asking for the way. Start being the way. The door is open, but you're the one who has to walk through it. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to discover you. The only person who can change the math of your life is the one staring back at you in the dark. Decide who you are, or the world will decide for you. Freedom isn't bought, it's taken. If this truth is what you needed to hear, you'll know what to do with this video. Would you like me to help you map out the specific psychological barriers that have been keeping you in that comfortable cage?